All right, Antoinetta, this is such a convoluted argument you're presenting here. It's just a lot easier if I just create a quick video so I can cover all this, hopefully fairly quickly. Maybe, maybe the letters and words and sentences that I'm posting when I type it out to you are confusing you. You're not understanding what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it's not about justifying poor literacy. That's exactly what you're doing. It's about fixing it where it exists. It exists everywhere in the United States of America, thanks to the public school system. The irony is that those same public schools you're criticizing are teaching 90% of Americans' kids. There's nothing ironic about that. I don't think you understand what the word irony means, which makes sense considering the argument you're making, including the ones most likely to struggle because of systematic underinvestment. That means money. The United States spends far more money per student on public education than the Catholic school system, and I'm not even Catholic, and they have far worse scholastic results. I'm not talking about the tuition that parents pay to put their children in the Catholic school system. I'm talking about the money that the Catholic Church of the tuition that comes in, the money that's spent on the Catholic school student and the facilities for Catholic school students is far less than what the United States spends per student. But they come out with far better scholastic and academic results. But the answer that the pro public ed person always gives is we need to spend more money. Do you know why most public school teachers are teaching in the public school and not in the private school sector? Like I told you in a previous comment, I was an ed major once, and I have sat in many public ed classrooms when I was earning my degree. I've sat in there with many teaching candidates and asked them why they wanted to be a public school teacher. Okay. You know what their answer was? Most of them were women. Most of them were women. And they were coming up on middle aged women. They would say, because I want to be off work during the summer when my children are off work. And they would say, well, the employee benefits are great, the retirement, the health insurance, all of those sorts of things. And having been a public school employee for about 9 years, I can attest to you, especially in the state of Alabama, the health insurance is Cadillac health insurance. The retirement program is phenomenal. People talk about how terrible school teachers are paid in salary. But what they need to do is they need to investigate what the entire employee package is: health insurance, sick days, vacation days, personal days, retirement. Okay. They need to investigate that to look at what the actual income or compensation is for public school teachers. But that was the two biggest, most common, almost exclusive reasons for those teaching candidates that I was sitting in the classroom with gave for why they wanted to be a public school teacher. You know what I never heard? I love working with children. I want to teach the next generation. I want to make sure that at least to one degree or another, that I am preparing the next generation academically to excel. I want to make sure that the next generation, as far as I can have an effect on it, understands critical thinking and problem solving and these sorts of things. I never heard that. Now, whenever it comes time to argue in favor of teacher pay raises, it's all about we're teaching next generation. The children, I believe the children are our future. We got to teach them well and let them lead the way. Think of the children, think of the babies. But when you talk to them in person, the ones that have chosen to spend the money, student loans, grants, or otherwise, to become a school teacher, and you ask them, why are you choosing to be a school teacher? They don't say that. They talk about the employee benefits and the fact of how convenient it will be now that my kids have started school. They'll be in school while I'm at work. And when they're out of school, I'll be off of work and I'll be able to take care of my children. It's a convenience thing, you see. So that's just my personal experience. But you're welcome to do your own research and try to find out why teachers become teachers. And I'm not saying all of them, not all, not all, not all, not all, but I'm saying many. So, so that's what I'm saying. The irony is that these public schools you're criticizing are teaching 90% of Americans' kids. That's not ironic. I've already said that in one of my previous comments when I said the vast majority of Americans are educated in the public school system. That's not ironic. I don't know why I said it's ironic, except for the fact that maybe you don't understand what the word ironic means. I'd kind of probably lean that direction, including the ones most likely to struggle because of systematic underinvestment, because the system doesn't spend enough money. You can't buy an education, darling. Abraham Lincoln educated himself with a coal oil lamp and a cabin in Illinois, and he became the president. Money can't buy an education. Sure can't. And so, according to 2025 data, 79% of Americans are illiterate, and the average reading level is about 7th to 8th grade, not 6th. Just real quick, let's clarify this because I think you're having a problem with reading comprehension. This is what I actually said right here. Do you see this? Do you see this right here? This is a screenshot of my actual comment. Here, I'll make it bigger so you can see it bigger. I said those qualifications have given the U.S. a population of public school graduates where 74% of adults read, 54% of adults read on a 6th grade level. Okay, remember that, Antoinetta. 54% of adults read on a 6th grade level. Remember those words now. 54% of adults read on a 6th grade level. Now, when I switch back to your screenshot, you're going to remember what I just said there. 54% of adults read on a 6th grade level, all right? 54 read on a 6th grade level, 54 on a 6th. Maybe those few little words will make it easier. 54 on a 6th. Okay, let's go back to what I said. But what you said? Okay, 79% of Americans are literate. That's true. And the average reading level is about the what? The average reading level. Not 6th. What did I say was a 6th grade level? I said 54% read on a 6th grade level or below, actually. On a 6th, I said 54% read on a 6th grade level. Your response that for some damn reason you think is a refutation, Google that word up, that you think is a refutation of that statistic is that the average reading level. I didn't say a damn thing about what the average reading level is. I said that 54% read at or below, I said on a 6th grade level or below, actually, is what the actual stat says. I didn't say average. The average, so you know, is they add up all the numbers and then they divide that number by how many different numbers there are. So if there are 10 numbers, they add them all up and they divide it by 10, and that gives an average. That's the worst of the worst and the best of the best. That's average. It's the average. I didn't say the average American read on a 6th grade level. I said that 54% read on a 6th grade level, which is true. And I'm going to show you that stat here in just a minute. However, let's grant it. Let's grant your number, okay? How in the damned hell shit is it a flex or any sort of a point of pride or accomplishment to say that the average American can only read to an upper middle school level? How is that something to brag about? I mean, how's it to say, oh, well, the public school system is great because, the average reading level is eighth grade. That's not a flex. Even if I had said the average reading level was sixth grade, which I didn't, I said 54% read on a sixth grade level. But even if I had said that the average was the sixth, and you come in with some kind of a, I guess you think it was some kind of a flex, that no, it's not the sixth, it's the seventh to the eighth. What are we talking about? 1 or 2 years? You know what the average isn't? It isn't a 12th grade level, and it damn sure isn't a college level, which is what it should be. If the public school system was as fantabulous as you seem to believe it is, then the average should at least be 10th to 12th, maybe 11th. I mean, how do you define success? I know how you define success: taxation and spending more so that you have properly invested in the public school system, right? But anyway, and you're right that teacher quality matters. I did not say teacher quality matters. That's another one of your reading comprehension issues. I asked you because you talked about how private teachers rather, how private teachers don't have the same qualifications as public school teachers because public school teachers have to have higher qualifications. I asked you to explain to me what the qualifications of the public school student, the public school teacher that are required by the Alabama Department of Education. I asked you to justify, explain what difference they made, considering that private and homeschool students who are taught by supposed amateurs and novices and nobodies, those students end up outperforming the public school student across all metrics. Like I said in one of my previous comments, my wife and I homeschooled all 5 of our kids right on through high school. And all 5 of them graduated, did very well for themselves. They're all gainfully employed. Every job they go on, show up on, most of their coworkers and such think that they're much older than they are and much higher educated than they are. And they were educated by complete, absolute novices, amateurs. Yep, they sure were. And their public school cohorts, the average of them, they're back there reading on a, well, you said here, 7th to 8th grade level. I mean, my kids read Homer, and I don't mean Simpson. I mean, they read Descartes. I mean, they read them for hobbies. I mean, they read Machiavelli's Prince. I mean, I just don't know how far to go with you on that, but my. So I didn't say teacher quality matters, which is exactly why we need to keep public education strong. Keep public education strong, darling. Public education has not been strong since at least 1979, or was it 78? Anyway, public education has not been strong since Jimmy Carter created the Federal Department of Education. And it actually started going downhill before that. But I'm going to at least give you up to about 78 or 79. And let me show you what that has to do. Your statistics that you brought up from Americans for Prosperity, here are, let me, yeah, I got the right one here now. Let me do a little clickety click so I know what I'm looking at here. All righty. I've got a little clickety click. I am old, so give me a minute. Let it calm your jets. I'm gonna get to it. All right. Here we go. Let me move this around here. All right, here we go. Here are your literacy rates. Americans for Prosperity. Do you know what Americans for Prosperity is? The source of where you quoted your statistics. Americans for Prosperity. Let me click right here. We'll go look at it. Americans for Prosperity. What exactly is it? Let me turn this other one off behind us here so we can Americans for Prosperity. At any rate, fuck, shit, piss, bitch, cunt, tramp, whore. Where'd it go? Nothing.